Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. Today we're going to be checking out the Lenovo Smart Display with the Google Assistant built in, and I'm pretty excited to check this out and see how I'm actually going to be using it on a day-to-day basis and what type of use cases I can get out of it. So I'd like to real quick show you what comes in the box, walk you through the setup process, and maybe give a couple quick demos as well of how you can use this Smart Display. In terms of some quick specs, it has an 8-inch 1200 by 800 IPS display. It has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 624 processor and 2 gigabytes of RAM. With that being said, let's go ahead and open it up and check out the Lenovo Smart Display. Let's get started. Here is the Smart Display, and of course, since it has the Assistant, you can use all of those other commands, and on the back it gives you some examples of some apps that you can use with this Smart Display. Now what I want to go ahead and do is open it on up, and here we go. Right away, looks like we have the Smart Display itself. It does not have any cables coming out the back. Looks like that would be separate. I was wondering if that was going to be connected or not. We will set this to the side, but we can actually take it out of its wrapping very quickly. Very interesting, unique design. As you can see on the back, it has more of a triangle shape down towards the base. And then, of course, the front is just completely flat. So looking at it, you might think it'd be more of a tent, but then you look towards the back, and it's almost like a tablet with a little triangle base. Setting the display to the side for a second, looks like you have some booklets, some examples of ways you can use the Assistant. And then, of course, you do have your power outlet, which I'm curious to see what type of connection it is, if it's proprietary or if it's USB-C, and it looks like it is a proprietary cable. Continuing on, let's see what else comes in this box, if anything at all. And it looks like that's it. So very, very simple. You just have your Smart Display itself and just a way to provide it power. So let's go ahead and plug it in and run through the setup process. And before we turn it on, I'd like to talk about design of the Smart Display. On the front, of course, a very big speaker, also a 5 megapixel camera as well. Looking towards the bottom, you'll notice some grips. All down towards the bottom here, it curls around the edge here, and then the bottom here, it has another grip. But also there is one in this corner because, of course, you have the ability to put it up vertically as well if you don't necessarily want it horizontally. On the right side, you have a couple microphones and also something very interesting. You'll notice a little switch right here, and that actually has to do with this front-facing camera. So when you flip that switch, it will actually block the camera. So if you do not want that camera to be able to see anything, you have an option to actually cover it up. A little interesting decision on Lenovo's part, but I think it's a good one. And up at the top, you have a couple more microphones. Looks like you have a mute switch for those microphones and a volume toggle plus and minus. And on the back, it says Lenovo down here in the corner and has the place to actually plug in your Smart Display. So I'm going to plug it in for the first time, let it boot up, and I will be right back.
Hi, I'm your Google Assistant. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
There you have it. So let's go ahead and set this up, get the Google Home app. I already had the Google Home app on my phone, so we can go ahead and go into devices, hit set up, and yes, we would like to set up this Smart Display. I'm going to run through and only talk about anything that is noteworthy. So as the Smart Display is updating, it actually asked if I wanted to set up video calling through Google Duo and input my phone number, so I did that. And then it also popped up this screen to choose an ambient mode if you'd like to use a specific photo frame, art gallery, or a clock. For the time being, I'm going to just use art gallery. Hopefully it still will show the time on there even when I do have the art gallery going. Go ahead and hit next. Almost done. All right, so we are all set up, ready to go. Looks like it does show the time and the weather and some artwork, of course. If we go ahead and tap on the screen, it will bring up essentially this home display, showing off what the weather is going to be like this weekend, and of course my calendar events coming up. Now, if I swipe from the bottom, it will bring up an option for settings where if you want to change volume, if you want to actually turn on or off automatic brightness, or just change brightness, you can. And then right here is the do not disturb mode if you'd like to change that, or you can jump all the way into settings where you have specific Wi-Fi, about device, or feedback. Swiping over, looks like you have other options such as Spotify playlists. You can go to YouTube for your evening if you would like to make a phone call, set a timer, or explore more things your assistant can do. Let's go ahead and tap on that, let that load up. One thing I'm noticing about this is I kind of expected this to have a little bit more minimal bezels. on the display, just kind of less black space on the outside. Maybe I'm just getting spoiled with the smartphone bezels getting so small. But here's other things you can do: play photos or play videos, manage photos. You can set specific timers. I honestly think I might have this in the kitchen for if I do decide to cook, or somewhere I can just go ahead and search things while I'm cooking. You have translations, lots of things to do. Of course, just really scrolling through. It really gives you a lot of options that you can use, which is nice, especially if you're new to the Google Assistant. This will give you a lot of examples. And then if you swipe from the left, this will actually go back and exit out of what you're looking at. And if you want to go back to that screensaver, you can. All right, so for the sake of this video, I'm only going to show off using my voice to activate the Assistant just once. I don't want to continually activate all your Assistant devices, so I apologize for that. Hey Google, play Tim Schofield videos.
Here's what I found on YouTube.
And looks like it knows to look on YouTube, and there we go. Go through and you can watch any of the videos that you would like to. If you want to go to watch maybe my latest video, you load it on up and you can start watching YouTube videos if you would like to. That's a really nice thing about this smart display. You can use the Assistant to integrate and search specific things. Find me a good mac and cheese recipe.
Here are some recipes I found.
All right, so if you wanted to go ahead and find a specific recipe, if you do happen to have it in the kitchen, here's an example. You tap on one, you can go through, look at all the ingredients, and you can hit continue cooking, and it's going to give you some voice activation things about what the things that you're going to need. You can skip to instructions or go to next ingredient all the way through, and then it will actually give you a list of options of things that you can go ahead and do, and then you can go to skip to instructions, and it will walk you through all the different steps that it's going to give you to make this specific mac and cheese. And of course, you can use Google Duo and make calls. Google Duo is free on iOS and Android. It actually comes with most Android phones. Make a phone call to Jason Ephraim.
Is that Jason Ephraim, mobile using phone call?
Yes.
Sure. Since this is your first call with your smart display, here are a couple of modes.
Looks
First,
like there's a couple
emergency
modes.
Are not available. At the end of your call, tell me to hang up. Calling Jason Ephraim.
Interesting. We'll see how this goes, actually. Hopefully he answers.
Your call has been forwarded to
And I got ignored. Make a phone call to Tim Schofield. So I'm guessing it comes up private number for now. I think in the Google Home app you can kind of change that, but that's probably why Jason actually declined me. But if I do want to answer it, I can. Hello?
Hello?
There we go.
There we go.
So obviously I'm going to end call because of the echo. Hey Google,
Hey Google.
end call. There you go. So you can actually use your voice or use the touchscreen to end that call. That's just an example of how a call would look. Of course, lots of other things you can do. Set a timer, find dinner recipes. If I want to listen to some music, I can do so. All right, and the last thing I want to do is just play a little song, just real quick to test out the speaker. And you'll see here, it's about halfway right there. Wow, that gets really loud, actually. I'm very impressed with how loud that gets. It actually starts to vibrate just a little bit when you turn it all the way up. Sounds pretty good. So overall, that's just about everything I wanted to show off for now. A lot more to come in the full review video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Of course, I just need to swipe over, and we can get back home, and it pops up that card of the last thing I did. So you'll see if I want to hop back into that song, I can do so. So that's really about it. That would be the Lenovo Smart Display. Be sure to drop a comment, let me know what you think. Click that thumbs up button. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.